It's afternoon. I didn't make it for the morning. Anyway, my ear's itching. Wonder what that means. Come on in here. I'm waiting for some people to get here. There's 2, 3. Come on. You can do it. I know you can. I know you can. I didn't even tell Liz and Patty I was going live. Sorry. I was just excited. Yesterday, I woke up with a sore throat. I got on that vitamin C right away, and I have nothing this morning. Nip it in the bud. It is wonderful how that stuff works. It may be all in my head, but guess what? That's okay too. I know I don't have a sore throat. I didn't wake up gagging this morning. But I did have some cheese a while ago. So, what's new in the neighborhood? It's Friday, which means get your car filled up with gas. Get your car cleaned out. Figure out what you're doing for date night, because that's always fun on Friday nights. And if you don't have a significant other, then grab a girlfriend or one of your kids and have another type of date night. Just get out there and have some fun with your family. I like balance, so I'm going to have to fix that. There we go. That's better. Happy with balance. And let's see, we got some new things going on the website. Today's Friday as far as our holiday missions go. Let's think about our budget for a holiday mission. Have you downloaded your holiday control journal? Let's get it downloaded, because that's where you're going to keep up with your spending. Today, when it rolls around on Friday for your holiday missions, we're always going to think about our budgets and see what we spend. So, folks, and I've been watching Fox News this morning, and one of my favorite people on Fox Business, I watch Fox Business because I keep up with the stock market all day long, on Fox Business, is Charles Payne. And he's this big dude, and he wears these big glasses, and I just love him. He was raised by a single mom in an inner city, and he has, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and he is an amazing man. And I'm not one to gamble. I'm just not one to gamble. But when the Mega Millions and the Powerball get right on up there, I am inclined to donate to the cause. So if somebody wants to be a billionaire, I'll donate a couple of bucks to help them be a billionaire. Because if you don't play, you can't win. But if you do play, you still got a 1 in a trillion chance. And that's what Charles was saying this morning, that his mother taught him. For some reason, there was a numbers game in inner city. And I don't know what that meant. In Wall Street, they played the last 3 digits of whatever the market closed at. But in his little area, they played 3 numbers, and this lady won once upon a time, and she had $700 in cash. And when he got home, she had this $700 sitting there, and he's telling this story, and he has his friend with him, and she gives her son $20, and she gives his friend $20. Well, after his friend left, Charles asked his mom, "Why did you give him $20? He's not part of our family." And she said, "Yes, he is. When you have an abundance, you share with others." So, everybody's asking everybody, what would they do if they won the almost $1 billion that's in Mega Millions right now? And for me, half of it's, got to go to taxes. That's just how it is. But you got half a $1 billion that you can take any way you want to. And I'm thinking, that would do a whole lot of good somewhere in the world. I could pay off everybody in the company's houses, and we could put money away for people's colleges. Think of all the good things that you can do to help others. So it may be pie in the sky, but I'm just making a donation. I'm just making a donation. And in fact, Justin and I put our little bit of money. We had a little bit of cash the other day. He filled the car up with gas. I went in and got 2 Powerball and 2 Mega Millions. So we're set for today. And it's just funny. We made a donation, and we actually, what we paid for the 4 tickets was $12. And on the Powerball the other night, we won $12. So we're scratch. And I really haven't wasted any money. I got to get it. But here, it's making a donation. That's all I'm looking at. And if we win, Justin and Robert and Emily and I will split it. So we put our names on the back of the tickets and we're good to go. And it's just making a donation. So, what would y'all do if you won the $1 billion? What would you do if you won $1 billion? What would you do? Justin said we would take Fly Lady to the next level, do lots of advertising and all kinds of stuff. And that would be fun too. For me, it's just put it in the bank and help others. Set up a trust for my grandchildren and bless other people. I'd probably give it all away as fast as I got it. Yep, that's who I am. Anyway, next thing to think about. Let's talk about our budget. So I've been looking at my winter clothes. Let me take a drink of vitamin C water. Vitamin C water. So I've been looking at our winter clothes. And in my winter clothes, Robert's getting his winter clothes out. He puts them in little bins every year after he washes them, puts them away. And I realized last Saturday that I needed a new black sweater. Yeah, don't wear a sweater often, but sometimes I just need to cover up a tank and go to dinner. And so as we're driving to meet friends for dinner, I get on Amazon, I find a black sweater with good reviews, and I ordered it. And it is wonderful. I have it on right now. It's so soft, and I paid $12 for it. $12 for my new black sweater. So I'm happy, and it makes me feel good. I may have to put some double sticky tape on it to keep it where I want it, because I don't like it to fly open. But throw a scarf with it and you're dressed up. Good to go. Keeping it simple. And that's the only thing I'm probably going to have to add to my winter wardrobe is this black sweater. Now that's saving money. That's saving money big time. Another thing I've been thinking about is doing some new videos and teaching you how to make biscuits, teaching you how to make cornbread, teaching you how to change things up a little bit, maybe even make some pancakes for you. Simple little pancakes. And just stir them up and show them to you. Because being able to use a bag of cornmeal and a bag of self-rising flour instead of buying Bisquick or this, that, and the other thing, it saves you a lot of money cooking from scratch. A bag of rice costs hardly anything, but if you get a box of rice with stuff in it, it's going to cost you a whole lot more. So we can cut our food budget down by just going back to basics, like our grandparents cooked. And one of the basic things that I use in my cooking is buttermilk. Buttermilk is an amazing liquid. It tenderizes meat because everything I cook that I'm going to be pan frying, like a pork chop, a chicken, country fried steak, all gets dipped in buttermilk before it gets dipped in flour. Even fish that I would dip in cornmeal, I would do in buttermilk first. So that is going to help you keeping buttermilk on hand. And in a pinch, I have a little canister, like 2 cups of dried, like powdered milk, but it's powdered buttermilk. And you can use plain milk and put a little vinegar in it, but I've never really had much luck with that. But I like the texture of buttermilk. So it is one of the things I keep in my pantry all the time. You're asking for the mocha recipe. It's coming out tomorrow in the Ask Fly Lady question. But it's real simple. It's Nestle's Quick, which we've all got in the house. It's Taster's Choice instant coffee. And it's Carnation instant milk, or some powdered milk you like, but I have found that Carnation is the best. And it's a real simple proportion recipe. It's 1 cup of Taster's Choice instant coffee, 2 cups of Nestle's Quick, and 3 cups of Carnation instant milk. That's how simple it is. And I use a cup as representative, but you can use the jar of instant coffee as your base to start with. 1, and then fill it up 2 times with Nestle's Quick, and then fill it up. Or you can just keep doing another cup and another cup until you run out of one of the ingredients. And then I like to take and put it in either a blender or a food processor to kind of make it really fine. And then I take a Ziploc bag and put it, if I'm giving it as a gift. And if you're getting rid of cups in your house, if you're decluttering cups, this would be a great way to do that. Take a pretty cup that you're getting rid of and put the Ziploc bag down in it and fill it up and tie it with a little bow. And you've got a pretty little gift to give away. Pardon me. Phlegm. What can I say? There's my friend Mary Jack. Love you. She's my friend from high school. So it's important, and she can probably teach you how to make cornbread like nobody's business. And I make biscuits like my mother-in-law made them, and I use a little oil instead of a solid like lard or anything. I use oil because it stirs up easy. So I think I'm going to do those this weekend, and then take what I make and turn it into the dressing, the cornbread dressing that Mary Jack and I grew up with, because it's just some amazing stuff, that cornbread dressing. And I'm going to embellish it a little bit from things that I've learned from Leanne, because I really like hot sausage in it and lots of celery. So I'm going to change it up a little bit and show you how I like to make it. But it's going to be fun. But I start with cornbread and biscuits. That's the basis for my dressing. And we call it dressing in the South, not stuffing, because we never put this stuff in the turkey. Never, ever. It's dressing. It is good, and it's simple to make. And what our ancestors did, my grandmother would save up a piece of cornbread that was left over from dinner, or a biscuit or 2 that was left over from dinner, and she would put it in a bag in the freezer. So she would have these snippets of cornbread that she had made that she would make, and that's what she would make the dressing with. Now, it's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. But you really need fresh sage. So put sage on your grocery list and get some fresh sage in your house, because that makes all the difference in the taste of the dressing. So that's what I'm going to be playing with this weekend, is making you some videos on how to make biscuits. And they won't really be videos because I can't videotape it, but I can take pictures of each process along the way and then turn it into a video and give you a little instruction along the way. So it'll be simple, but you'll see how I do it. And I think you'll like it. I think you'll really... I don't put it in the bird at all. So, making your dressing, getting it done, it's real simple. And I like for my ingredients to be really dry. So sometimes I'll just leave them out with a dish towel over it to let all the moisture evaporate, or stick it in a low oven like 100 degrees for a couple of days to kind of get the moisture out of it, because I want the breads to take on the chicken broth that I'm going to be using to put it together, to put it all together. And it's really good. So my sister says I need to write that book called Yum, and maybe I'll work on it, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll put together a little control journal for simple recipes, back to basics. You know, back to basics deals with also cooking rice. You know, according to the size of your family, if you use a cup of rice, you need 2 cups of water. You bring the water to a boil with a little bit of butter in it or a little bit of olive oil. Bring it to a boil, put your cup of rice in it, and then turn it all the way down on low, as low as you can get it, and put the lid on it. And do not pick the lid up, because that removes the steam. And set your timer for 20 minutes. That's it. Same thing with oatmeal. 1 cup of oatmeal, 2 cups of water. Anything dried like that works on that basis. Even dried beans. Except you need a little more water in it, and then you have to rinse the beans, pour that off, and start over. So here you go. Simple, simple, simple. And it's no messing up, because a cup of rice probably costs $0.25, if that. So folks, get some basics in your house. And grits are a whole different ball game, because if you use a tablespoon of grits, you need a cup of water. But follow the directions. I got more grits than you can shake a stick at, because I bought a case of them one time, and it was 8 5-pound packages of grits. So I need to share grits with people. But grits are good. You can turn them into whole cake. You can turn them into little cakes and stuff. Put cheese and garlic in them. Serve them with catfish. Yum. Shrimp and grits. That's a Southern delicacy. Cooking from scratch is easy, isn't it, Rebecca? It really is. You just have to get in there and try it, and have plenty of time to do it. Don't be rushed, because if you get rushed, you get frustrated, and it makes for a mess. But if you start with a sink full of hot soapy water, everything's going to be okay. And I have to wipe down all my counters, because I have a cat. It drives me nuts when my cat gets on the kitchen counters. But before I start cooking, I wipe down everything. I wipe it all down, and then I can start to cook. And sometimes I put out wax paper to keep from making big messes. Well, see, I can make patty cake things from anything. Mashed potatoes. I've made them from from leftover pinto beans. Bean patties are really good. And what you do is they're cold, and you mash them all up, and you add an egg and a little bit of flour to them, and pat them together and put them down. Just spoon them into a hot skillet with some butter or some olive oil in it, and it's really good. You can do it with beans and grits, and even leftover oatmeal can make a nice little patty. It's fun to come up with different recipes. I like to make stuff up too. So getting in your kitchen and playing is really it's almost like you're an artist, because you're mixing things and doing things and just making do with what you have. If you've got some leftover beans, bam, it's good. Now, I got some announcements for you. You remember back in the summer when we were doing our, what was our July habit? Or was it August? No, August is laundry. July habit was swish and swipe. And y'all loved this half price sale we had on a package of purple rags and a Rubba Swishas. This is our toilet bowl brush. See it? It is wonderful. This thing keeps your toilet flowing like you wouldn't believe. It has been known to fix toilets that had the holes where the water comes out around the rim had gotten crusted over with calcium deposits. This will make it go. It's half price again. So check it out. It's $12.95. I think that's the number. Somebody put the link in there. And this is a wonderful way. You need one for each bathroom. And I have 2 bathrooms, so I have one in each bathroom. So it makes it wonderful. So right now, if you haven't gotten our emails today, we've been spam not us, but some server at Constant Contact. So people aren't getting our emails. That's why I'm telling you on our Facebook channel that what we're doing. And I'm thinking about going on to Periscope and doing some stuff too. I've never done Periscope before, but I listen to Periscope every day. And if you subscribe, I've got to set up a Fly Lady channel on Periscope. But if you subscribe to my channel on Periscope, when I come on, it'll whistle at you. And that's how I know Scott Adams is on every day. So, folks, we got lots of stuff to do. And one other thing, our grocery bags are back in stock. I've forgotten to tell you about those. But our grocery bags, and I don't know where they are. I think they're I told Robert to put them on my vanity. He put them on our dresser. But you have 3 purple bags that are this color, purple, for groceries, and 2 insulated bags that are black. And they will hold a week's worth of groceries easily from the grocery store. And I use them for everything. So, folks, get your grocery bags, and we got the mop is half price. Our extra large mop, I put a purple rag on it. Our extra large mop is half price. Let me show you. This is kind of cool. I think the Velcro will hold it. You don't even need these white things. They just get in the way to me. Velcro holds it right down. There you go. And it cuts out the sweeping step before you do your floors. You know, when you start piling on one more thing to do, that causes procrastination. And the fastest way to get rid of procrastination is to set your timer for how many minutes? 2 minutes. Set your timer for 2 minutes and do what you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but anything is better than nothing at all. You know, back to the Mega Millions. If you don't buy a ticket, you know you can't win. But if you donate $1 in a pot to help other people get their $1 billion, then you're sharing. And if you do win, wow. So folks, let's have a good time. Let's enjoy the day. Let's plan our date night. What's it going to be? I'm going to get some work done this afternoon and probably think about how I'm going to do the videos with the cornbread and the one of my favorite recipes is from Martha Helton. She has a blog, and she has some country recipes that are just like I grew up with, and my friend knows her very well. We all know her very well, and she was a couple years ahead of us in school, but she makes the amalgamation cakes that my son loves, and the boiled custard, and I might have to show you how to make my boiled custard because somebody needs to know this stuff. This is some good stuff. And it's Justin's favorite thing at Christmas time is the amalgamation cake. It's really a jam cake is what it is. And it is so good. It is so good. But the icing is the good. I have helped my mother-in-law grind up the pecans and the coconut and all the things that go in it. I have helped her do that in the past, and it was a big ordeal. She would break it down into baby steps. I guess that's probably where I learned how to do baby steps. Was from her, because she didn't have a whole lot of time because she worked at Boyette's restaurant for 27 years. And so she would have 2 hours. So she would get everything set up, ready to pull it all together and bake it for Thanksgiving. And we would have boiled custard and amalgamation cake for several weeks. And she always would cover her cake and put it in the front bedroom where it had no heat. It's kind of a good thing. So folks, I'm going to think about cooking some stuff. I've got to get some celery in here. I think that's the only thing I need. I've got onions and celery. And yeah, I can't cook if I don't have an onion. You know that? And in New Orleans, they start with onion and celery and peppers. Those 3 things. So I don't like pepper in my dressing, but I do like onions and celery. And you stir them up in a pan and pre-cook them a little bit. It's really good. So y'all have a good day. Check out our Swish and Swipe pack. It's half price. Our purple rags are half price. Our extra large mop is half price. Rubba Scrubbas are on a BOGO. And we are out of the black feather duster. We don't know when we're going to get in. What we have is the silver one. So folks, start getting your presents in here. Get some stocking stuffers, and with our 20% discount code, Blessing954, you can save on our red office in a bag and the calendar and a lot of different things. So utilize the code on the really good deals. You don't use the code on because it gets as low as it can possibly go. I love you all. I will talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll have some biscuits to show you. See ya.